Hi, this is Mason, and you're watching the 315 with Brian Higgins. Now it's time to start the post-game show. Here's Brian.
So I need my microphone. It's not how this thing works. Oh my god, that was terrible. That was terrible. Just terrible. Yeah, I mean, all right. And there's the show. There's the show. Yeah, I'm working on getting the Olympics on right now, MJ Burko. Welcome in. Welcome in. So, yeah, I mean, anyone surprised by that? I don't know what to tell you. Like, nothing shocking happened tonight. We had our afternoon of hope. For those that were with us live in the 315 this morning, I declared it the afternoon of hope because there was a chance to, not have that happen. And the afternoon of hope extended to 7. The afternoon of hope extended to like 7:30. The afternoon of hope made it to about 7:40. It approached 7:45. The afternoon of hope. It became the mid-evening of hope. It almost got into the night of hope. Syracuse was within 5 with at the under 4 time out of the first half, and then. I know you all thought this. I thought this. We thought back like the Carolina game and other games, recent vintage, like, well, can they avoid abject disaster to end the first half? And the answer was a definitive no, unless you don't file an 11-0 run in the last 3.5 minutes of the half under abject disaster. Then they just came out of the locker room and from literally the first second of the second half got blasted off the court for the remaining 20 minutes of the game. That was all of them in the second half. And, that's what happened. And there we are. Let's bring you into our Thompson Road Tavern opening menu here for the program tonight. Hey, if you were there tonight, you got the $7 wings and drink specials. That's pretty good. Yeah, what's not to like about that? Do I have their Facebook open here somewhere? I think I do. Have they posted their lunch specials for the week? I think they had. Today they had the Nashville hot chicken. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if they have their lunch specials for the whole week up yet. They'll have a lunch special tomorrow. Go and eat it. How about that? Thompson Road Tavern, our opening menu. Here's what we got in the show. The link's pinned top of the chat. We'll get to your calls here in just a second. No live post-game press conference today. Road game with Red. Hopefully it'll get posted, I guess, in some semblance by the end of the show that we'll be able to play it back to you. We shall see on that over the course of our time together this evening. But the final score was a lot to a little. 101-67. 64. Yeah, that's even less. 101-64. The Arts get absolutely run. The score of the second half was 61-40. It was 29-24 with 3.5 minutes to go in the half. Like, Syracuse wasn't playing great, but I'm like, all right, they're in all right position. They're in all right position. Then you gave up the last 11 to the first half and then just got absolutely run out of the building to start the second half. So, yeah, there is that. There's that. I changed up the Thompson Road Tavern logo, as you'll notice at the bottom of the screen. I made it. I zoomed it in a little bit, so it's even perhaps more readable. Shout out to our friends at the Thompson Road Tavern. But as mentioned, let's get to the calls because nobody's in a good mood. So this is the cheapest therapy going when it comes to Syracuse basketball. You owe nothing unless you'd like to become a channel member, of which we always appreciate. Like you literally owe nothing. It's all voluntary. There is no copay. I don't take insurance. Like, it's a whole thing. Like, you owe nothing to come and lay your troubles on us here, and we can work through it. We can work through it together live on the air. So let's bring in our guy James, who today is going by James. Your name today is Replace Audrey with Wild Birds. I've had a lot of Cardinals out back in the last few days, James. So maybe I don't know what they know about the pick and roll, but I can ask. We can see. What's up, man? How are you, James? Am I not sending to James? Can James not hear me? James does not look like he's hearing me. Interesting. Right now we're just. Oh, well, that's my bad. My bad, James. I gave you a whole exciting
Oh, it's
intro
okay.
there, but yeah,
You
I gave
did,
you a
and I
whole
missed it
exciting.
all.
Well, yeah, but I didn't have the button clicked for you to hear it, and for
I
that
was,
I'll blame Jay Williams, I'll blame Red, I'll blame whoever you like. It was a great intro about you wanting to replace Red with Wild Birds and the whole thing. It was fantastic, but I didn't have the button clicked so you could freaking hear me. But I've clicked the button now,
I
so
could tell you were shooting pearls. I
yeah,
could tell you were shooting pearls. But let me ask you the most important question coming out of this game. Do
yes,
you agree that this environment isn't it like a microwave?
yeah,
That's what
yeah. Our guy
one of the
Jay
things he
Will's
said.
got man, he's got them all right. He's got every
It
possible.
became it became appliance centric towards the end because then he said, "You look, you would need to keep the lights on at all times.
Yeah,
You can't just you can't just turn the light switch on and off as you come and go." And I'm thinking that sounds very energy inefficient. I don't know why he's taking this, get motion lights, motion activated lights, but
I
I was
I, lo-
wondering what he
I
was going
love
to.
to turn the light switch on and off as I come and go. I mean, you got to save a penny where you can in these trying times.
I've got OCD, so I'm constantly coming back and turning on. I'm turning it off 20 times before I leave, but I didn't understand that analogy. To me, that's like, we need to burn more coal if you're due. You got to. I don't know what they're using to light their homes. We need to use something that's much more polluting. We need to go back, you know, but he said we need to leave them on at all times. And it sounded like the other announcer was like, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was,
I mean,
yeah. Did you watch?
OB there is focused on the granddaughter, so there's a lot going on. There was a lot going on. We got the grand. I mean, Dave O'Brien's a cute guy. We like Dave. He's a nice guy. But
Mhm.
when we're getting the play-by-play granddaughter update, which is great and all. Like, this is nothing against the granddaughter. She looked cute and the whole thing and the pink bow. It's wonderful. When we're getting the granddaughter update with 12 minutes to go in the game, that tells you what kind of game we're watching. That's all you need to know about the basketball game when you get the granddaughter update of the announcer with 12 minutes to go in the game.
He does that. No, I mean, but Jay Williams does that no matter what. But it was just very awkward because he was trying to say something nice, but then he kept going because it was just becoming a worse and worse sort of viewing experience. And then he
Yeah.
goes, you've basically been away from your family for their entire lifetime doing these, announcing these games. And he's like, I'm just so glad that now, as you hit your twilight years, you're finally able to spend a little time. And he's like, oh, you're a sweet guy, Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can. I think maybe somebody in the production booth is giving him the talk.
Yeah.
Go back to the lighting. Bring it back to one of the appliances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before Dave, you hit your deathbed, go spend some time with your granddaughter. See, here on this show, we just have kids running amok at all times. They're asleep right now, but yeah, you never know how those things are going to go. But this is what happens, right? When it's a 37-point game. Is that 37? Man, that's a lot of points. When it's a 37-point game, this is where it goes.
I anticipated. I mean, I expect them to lose by 30 when they play against Duke and other good teams, and I'm more surprised when they have an effort like they did in that tournament earlier in the year. And I'm still not really sure what was different about the game against Houston, for example, and is Duke that much better than than the teams they played in that early season tournament, perhaps, or has the team given up just that much? Or I think he's just gone further down the path of also. I mean, he's not even using the same level of coach speak and non sequiturs that we've become accustomed to in the post game. He's benching Kion, I believe, because he's mad at Carmelo. I mean, I feel like Autry's gone rogue. He's just, he's. I don't know.
Yeah, Rogue can be fun. I mean, when the season's like it is, Rogue can add a little bit of spice to the whole thing, I guess. I don't know. It's one of these things where they won the last two games, right, James? And we got a little bit of life. I don't know if hope is too strong, but this afternoon we were all talking. Well, maybe if I don't think anybody really believed they could, but it's like, well, let's at least be optimistic for an afternoon, and it's a holiday, whatever. See where that takes us. And it took us right back to where we were. Like, nothing has changed. Yeah, they won a couple games. Like, this is not a terrible team, right?
I
They're
don't think so.
they're below mid-pack of the ACC, but they're not hot garbage, right? Like, they're capable of winning games. They're just not capable right now of beating anybody legit good, and that's what we saw today. It's like, if you allow your hopes to get up, a team that's good is going to smack them right back down. And unfortunately, like in 2 weeks, whatever it is, when they're in the Center, 15 nights from now, yeah, this is probably gonna. I don't know if it'll be 37, but I imagine bad things are gonna happen again. Caleb Wilson's injury aside, if he was healthy, I'd say that happened again on Saturday.
Yeah.
That might mitigate it somewhat against Carolina, but I'm not totally sure about that. But yeah, you look at these games, Syracuse. I don't know. To your point, James, what's the difference between this and Houston? When did the Orange play great in that game? No, but they battled. They battled him. They guarded him. They didn't guard it. Like after halftime tonight, it was just a dunk fest. Duke was just dunking the ball.
They played excellent defense for I thought the first 12 and a half minutes. And I don't know why the effort sort of wanes. And I think the substitution pattern, honestly, Brian, has something to do with it, because if you notice, there was a significant defensive downswing because he brings in Kion, who can't defend, with JJ, right? So you've got the two of them. And Betsy, I mean, I like the effort, but he's on skates. I mean, he looks like, he's got something that's that's far too slippery on the bottom of his shoes. And so, I don't think that helps, but I don't know where that effort went. It's certainly not lasting as long into games, don't you think? And I mean, once that went away, I think the 2-game winning streak shows that if they somehow get lucky from 3-point range or hit at a much higher percentage than they're prone to for most of the year, it shows that they can be competitive enough to win. But that doesn't happen often enough. And they actually had open looks today. It wasn't from any sort of scheming guys open, but I thought it said it all when JJ came around a screen and shot a 3 that hit the bottom part of the backboard that's got like the gray padding on the lower right corner. And I went back and I freeze framed it to send it to my friend. And I'm like, this has got to be like 3.5 feet off. I don't know the exact, range, but I mean, it wasn't a foul shot. He's normally better than that from 3-point range. That looked like more like one of his shots from the stripe.
Yeah, it took an exotic turn on the way to the rim. I'm not quite sure how exactly that one happened.
You don't want him coming off screens to take threes. I mean, that's when he does make them, though, it seems like they're absolute, bullets. No trajectory. I still think he has a hideous shooting form, but I mean, I think I will say this: Kings. I wish we had him for another year. His effort on defense, he was all over the place. He fights through screens. He doesn't get beat, and I will be excited for I want the Bird people to find a way to get a spot on that bench. Tell me that wouldn't be a great story if
we just had a bird camera on the bench, or like if they were just birds.
And they didn't talk. Well, both. I mean, I think the birds could be, that could cause some health issues. But yeah, no, there's just that instead of red, because that's all that. Depending on what you're listening or listening to or watching, it's either talk about red, which is, I mean, like I made a joke to you in Twitter about, what if Wild Hack's replacement is just like, did you hear what he said about the juice stand? Did you hear that? He said he used alliteration about dips and dunks and drops. And, he wants to go to level 5. We don't know. I mean, this could be a level 50 facility, but he wants level 5. I think short of that happening, it's obvious, what's going to happen. So just something to entertain. I do find Jay Williams somewhat amusing because he's so horrible. I'd like to get him together with Okafor. That would be a dream team of broadcasting. You put him and Okafor together.
Oh, man.
But,
hey, Emeka's at least new to the industry. I'll give Emeka that. This is like his first year kicking the tires on it. He did go to UConn. There's UConn and Duke. I mean, it's just none of it's agreeable. Like, none of that's good. Unfortunately, like every play-by-play person being a Syracuse grad has not allowed us to overcome all this this season, James. I don't know, man. I don't know. Thanks as always.
Emeka,
Emeka.
It's lovely to see you spending time with your grandkids. Jay, I'm 37. I don't.
Oh, man. All right, James. Appreciate the call as always.
Thank you for the therapy session, my friend.
As always, it is free. Free as advertised. Yeah, we get people through it. We bring people in. We let them. It's like Festivus. It's an airing of grievances. We'll let you get it out there. This is it's a safe space. It's a safe space. I mean, it's live on the internet and it's saved forever. But if you get past that point, it's It's a safe pace. Let's go to Mike in Connecticut, who is actively drinking right now. So, he's pouring. I was gonna say if you finished. There you go. You got he's got the dad strength going. I think that was the can there. Thank you, Mike, for sending some of that my way. It's in the fridge at the moment, chilling. But yeah, another fun night of Syracuse basketball, huh?
I thought Spalina played great tonight. Bo Khan is going to be awesome in the future.
Yeah.
Did something happen tonight? What happened?
Yeah. I just happened to I misclicked and I accidentally started the show. I don't know, was there a game on? It's just yeah, the Yankees' first spring training game is Friday, says Q scoring, and I'm not a Yankees fan though. So what does that do for me?
We're number one in the country in lacrosse, and let's hopefully after what Duke beat us in football, 38-3. Tonight, they scored the most points they have all season, except for they beating Paulus's Niagara.
Yeah.
Actually, they scored more. Niagara only let up 100. We let up 101.
Wow.
I mean, it's gotten bad, man. It's gotten bad.
It's not good, Mike. It's not good. It's not fun, and I don't want to say it erased the goodwill of the last couple of games because I think a little came back, but it returned everybody to where they were. It just returned us all to reality of, hey, they are capable of winning some games. It's never been about that. It's not like this team is 5-20. They are capable of a win. They're just not capable of being good. They're not a good team, and they're not capable of playing with good teams at this point.
Well, I mean, but here's the thing: we beat SMU, and Andy Enfield after the game looks like he had no desire to ever see snow again.
No,
probably. I mean, that was a great win over a 34 team. We beat Cal, but if you look at the chat here that's doing therapy and other places, I think you had a caller on, the guy from North Carolina said you've lost me, you've lost all hope. We got that irrational thought that maybe we could beat Duke.
Yeah,
it's people, no.
It's no. I don't think any of us really I don't think anybody really believed it, but it was fun to pretend to believe it for an afternoon. It was, it was a holiday, right? Let's at least play, it's like playing dress up when you're kids or something. Let's play make believe for an afternoon. That was fun, and we got the crash back to reality tonight. This is reality. Duke is one of the short list of teams that can win the national championship, and Syracuse is not playing in that stratosphere right now. They're not even remotely in the realm of being able to touch that right now, which is the sad part. You can be not great, but have a moment against those teams. Syracuse seems incapable of a moment. Earlier this season, Houston, they had a little moment. Those moments are gone. It's gone. And I don't know. That's just where we're at.
Can you name another team that's just regressed? We held Houston to 62. I think, or something low. It was in
it was mid-low 60s.
How do we progress? How does Cayenne, other than he became basketball Jesus on Saturday, how does he regress that bad as he gets more reps? How does Sadiq White look as clueless? And that's every player has regressed. And tonight, I mean, at one point Duke was 18 of 22 in the second half, shooting 82% with 5 minutes left. I mean, It was target practice. And
it was all dunks and threes. It was wide open dunks, wide open threes.
It was our shot selection was horrible. We whatever these concepts in offense weren't good, but we were back to unfortunately who we are. But there's no way on this planet we should be getting beat by Duke by 40 points. But tonight they've certainly more talent and they're certainly better coached.
There's no shame in losing to this Duke team. This Duke team is really, really good. Cameron Boozer is one of the best. Cameron Boozer's unbelievable. He's one of the best players in the country. There's no shame in losing to this Duke team. But, the last 23 and a half minutes of the game, that shouldn't be what Syracuse basketball looks like. I don't care if you lose the game. They got beat so bad. The entire loss happened in the last 23 and a half minutes of the game. You lost by what? They lost by 37. 32 points of that deficit came in the last 23 and a half minutes of the game. That's not good.
They covered the spread in the second half alone. It's 20 and a half. Yeah. It was Duke's the fourth biggest win of the year, and they're biggest against a P4, P5, or anybody that's not Division II, essentially. Sorry, Army. Sorry, Niagara. And sorry, West Hill High School is my go-to as the third. But just that was... I mean, not that we thought Red had a chance, but I think we actually did. That's why, please, people, vote sadness for player of the game.
I'm
despair's-
surprised that I got to check the vote.
Sadness deserves it.
Sadness
Kyle let up a double-double in the first half, everybody.
Yeah.
Kyle let up a double-double in the first half. So anyway, thank you for the therapy. You have a beautiful family, those kids. And so hopefully, they're getting some rest or they didn't see the game. But anyway,
I say hopefully they will not be joining us tonight because my goodness, those two should be asleep. It is late for the kids. So if they show up, we got all sorts of trouble. We got all sorts of trouble brewed upstairs. But
I'm drinking beer on a Monday night, and it's not Monday Night Football, so no judgments here.
No, none coming. All right, Mike. Thanks as always. There's our guy, Mike, in Connecticut. If you would like to be like Mike, you can join the show. Link pinned top of the chat. I'll say this. Maybe I shouldn't. Right now, the Wildbirds Unlimited Player of the Game polls at this: William Kyle's at 37%, Sadness at 19%, Despair at 29%. So Sadness and Despair combined are beating William Kyle. Other has gotten 15%, but Despair is actually up 10% on Sadness in our current exit polling for the Wildbirds Unlimited Big Air Player of the Game. So, yeah, we'll do that. And, yeah, that goes into it, too. Like Syracuse, right? Cardiac Q. And to your previous question there, Dr. Opal Winfinger, does Nate Kings have another year of eligibility? I don't have a goddamn clue. Like, maybe. Nate's played, like, JUCO, NAIA. He's played at every level that exists. I no longer know what the rules are because they change every 6 seconds. My guess is if Nate Kings feels like suing somebody, he could probably come back to school for another year. Would he come back to Syracuse? I have no idea, but I really like Nate Kings. I think Nate has been a fantastic revelation this year. William Kyle, on the other hand, in theory, is wrapping up his eligibility of, like, actual basketball. Christina says the kids are out cold, so there. And if you'd like to buy something from Simply Sweet Sisters, Christina was updating candle inventories and whatnot the other day, so go check that out at simplysweetsisters.myshopify.com. The link should be through shortly. The link should be through shortly for that. But again, link pinned top of the chat if you'd like to join the show. We'll see if by the end of the evening here, if Red's postgame press conference gets posted, and then we can do that. Yeah, we can, level 5 and dips, and we can do it up real nice. We can do the whole thing that we, all that fun stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's just an absolutely, unfortunately, not an unexpected night, but it's rough. It's rough nonetheless, because here we are, like, since, shall we call it the Tennessee game? Since the Tennessee game, yeah, like every game's on TV and the whole thing, but since the Tennessee game, like the games in Vegas were spotlight games, the Tennessee game was a spotlight game, but since that, the only real spotlight games that the Orange have played up to this point are the last 2 big Monday games where you go get worked at North Carolina and then the final score looks close, but you got absolutely worked. And then tonight at Duke where you get absolutely worked. Now Saturday afternoon against North Carolina when they're coming into the Dome, the game's on ABC, the American Broadcasting Corporation. The game is on ABC on Saturday afternoon. ABC, Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock. People are going to watch that game by accident. Syracuse might get worked. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. Spring game got announced tonight. What a time to drop that. Are you trying to distract us from the basketball score? Did the spring game get announced? Where did the spring game get announced? I don't see it anywhere. Who got that announcement? Yeah, the 20-point run against UNC's walk-ons was kind of epic. Yeah, UNC's best player is Caleb Wilson, like, absolutely out Saturday. How long's he out for? What's his deal? But they have other good players, so there's that. Like they do have other good players, which is disconcerting that they have other good players. Caleb Wilson, Caleb, hey, I need some news. Caleb Wilson injury. Oh, 1 hour ago, Hubert Davis updates Caleb Wilson injury status. All right. During his weekly radio show, Caleb is great. I think he's got a splint, and then now I got to subscribe to read this. Where else can I read this where I don't have to subscribe? Rumored Caleb Wilson injury timeline. Blah, 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 blah. 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah, Caleb's not playing on Saturday. He's got a splint on his hand. So Carolina will be without their freshman, their best player, their likely top 5 NBA draft pick this year. But, yeah, there we go. There we go. So the great Houston versus Iowa State game is on. Is that so, Cardiac Hughes? I'm sorry. I'm watching Mono Bob. Well, I'm not watching it, but I have the Mono Bob on where I already know the results, and that's what's on my TV right now. I do not, Bruce. John Wildhack less than a week ago said that nothing will be said or done about it until the season is over. Though I guess it would be kind of par for the course until like 10 days later, reverse pass on that. Realistically, what has changed here in the last month? Nothing. Like, we're still on the same path that it's been. There's 4 games left in the season. There's 4 games left. Like, what's that going to do at this point? You got 4 games left. There's only 2 home games left. There's just not. I don't think it's going to really get you anything significant to make the move early. So, yeah, I just think, play it out. Maybe you beat Wake. You better beat Pitt or not. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. Go to the ACC tournament, win one or don't. Doesn't really matter. And then I'll say, after the ACC tournament game, either right after Red's press conference or the next morning, realistically, that's when the announcement will come. Realistically, that's the thing. Oh, you got that from AR always tweets the press conference. Physicality is the difference. Yeah, that is among the differences, I would say. Let's see what else is going on the WAER Sports Twitter account. Got to enunciate that W. Following its worst, this was the worst ever ACC loss. Here's how bad it's gotten recently. It didn't even occur to me to check. Yeah, they lost by 37, whatever. Like, it didn't occur to me to check. All right, some quotes from Reds presser. What makes Cameron indoors such a difficult place to play? They've got really good players. All right. What did you see change in the second half? Turnovers. This game is over with. We didn't play the way we needed to play. We have 4 games to play, and we have 4 great opportunities. On Boozer, what we wanted to do is not let him score and be a passer. Boozer's final line tonight, 22 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, 8 of 10 shooting, and he had a double-double at halftime. What else do we got from Red? Boozer is a guy who can impact the game when he's not scoring. That's one of the best defensive front courts, talking about Boozer and Malik Brown in the country. What's the difference in talent level between these programs, Duke, Virginia, UNC, and your program? I think the physicality is the biggest difference. Yada, yada, yada. I thought their defense was tremendous. They were active. They pushed us out. Yada, 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 yada. I thought in the first half we had some moments, but we ended the half bad, and that started the momentum. It stopped being momentum. It just became what it is. What it is. That's a clever use of Mac, fella Furter. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Yeah, Matt and White. It does feel like Red knows it's done. Barring a miracle, it feels like he knows it's done. There's, he's dealing with acceptance and all of that. But he's this is part of it, right? And I've said this the entire year, and we now know it's not going to happen, but I've been saying this for months. Regardless, like, something tremendously crazy would have had to happen to remove him during the season. Because, good, bad, or otherwise, you want Red to be the stop for the noise. You want the noise to go directly to him and get absorbed there. And realistically, is that what's happening? Yeah, Hopkins, GMAC. Hey, we just did Mike Hopkins today on Who's Next and told you why it would have been great to see how that would have worked out 8 years ago. Yeah, Mike Hopkins, I don't think is going to be the coach. Jay Wright, I'm certain, is not going to be the coach. Nate Oates is not going to be the coach. Yeah, it's probably going to be in the middle. Like, could it be Jerry? I suppose it could be. Brian Hodgson is clearly, like, the amount of smoke and fire around Hodgson's name right now is not to be ignored. Should Autry have mentioned NIL after this loss? He could have gone the Kelvin Sampson, the poor athletic department route. That would have been funny. That would have been 40. Yeah, I'd say just the way roster construction as well, and the time you have. Like, if you fire Ed the second the season ends, you still have almost a month to get a coach and get ready for the portal. You have plenty of time, and let's be honest, there's a lot of work that I'm sure is being done right now behind the scenes. At least it sure as heck better be. I do have, I'll say this, I've somehow attracted Feliferda, a St. Louis fan, in my Twitter mentions recently after we did a Who's Next on Josh Schertz. And the St. Louis fan assures me that Josh Schertz is going to be a lifer at St. Louis, and he wants to turn it into the next Gonzaga. And he is 100% certain about that. So the random guy on Twitter, got you, my dude. We got you. Almost knocked a fork on the floor. Yeah, who needs players, Sean Williams? Like, who need players? Players? Yeah. The Hodgson thing, like, Hodgson clearly wants the Cuse job. From everything I've read, and it's been from multiple people, like, Hodgson wants the Cuse job, which, good, right? The idea is, like, Syracuse, it is good that Syracuse has somebody that is at least in theory desirable in the coaching cycle that actually wants the job. Like, that's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. Yeah, Sacramento State's got stupid money. Like, that deal they just made with the MAC for football is wild. It's a whole thing. Yeah, shout out Wild Birds Unlimited. Shout out to the $ next to the chat box. Shout out to all 112 of you that are hanging out right here after Syracuse lost by 37 on a Monday night. You are the real heroes of the program here tonight. If you have not subscribed to the channel, do it. Do it. Hit the subscribe button. Just do it. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to turn your name green and make yourself special, hit the dollar thing there, which still, it's a bit on the nose. The $, the green. Become a member of the channel, and then stay tuned. I think we're going to start this in March. We're getting awfully close to March. At a previous job in a previous life, we did Subscriber Mondays. I think we're going to do something, because alliteration makes everything better, that's like a monthly member Monday with gifts and prizes and whatnot. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that. So get yourself a member, and you'll be eligible to win great things from our fabulous sponsors. Yeah, MJ Burke, I've been saying that for when did that get announced? Like 2.5 years ago now. I've been saying that, hey, Big Tuna is sending gift memberships. Who received? MJ Burke just received a gift membership. What a moment. What a moment. What a mitzvah for all of us. Fantastic. Can I see a list of subscribers? Oh, I can see it. Casey fan. Oh, I can see it. I can see it. I can see the members. I can see the subscribers. I've got the analytics, man. I've got it all. Becoming a member is entirely reasonable. Thank you, Big Tuna. Your generosity is fantastic. But the Micron thing, like, I've talked about this before, and I don't think it's going to happen, but it, like, Syracuse's best chance of being, like, competitive for the long term in sports here with the way NIL is if, like, the new company coming to town wants to toss some bucks around. Will there be a happy hour special for members? I will investigate that, Super Cat. Don't you think I won't? I will investigate the possibility of that. Because we have a place that, has the thing and, with the beer and and the thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go, Sean Williams. I feel every postgame turns into this conversation, but this is the conversation of the program. If you missed live in the 315 this morning, we did Who's Next and focused on Mike Hopkins. Not that it's going to happen, but we needed, like, we just had to do a Hop episode. I mean, what's the fun if we didn't do a Hop episode? What would Micron gain by giving players money? Here's what Micron would gain by giving players money, JMOL. They would gain goodwill in the community by helping the thing that people rally around here be worth rallying around. That's what they'd gain. That's what they'd gain. Like, what would they actually gain as a company? Like, how does it help the company? No, but like FedEx, which is, and this is the comparison I make. FedEx, which is actually from Memphis, gives or gave, I think they still do, but they certainly were at one point. They were giving $5 million a year to Memphis's NIL. So that was the major corporation in the city supporting the major collegiate athletic institution in the city. Now, I'm not saying, like, there's certainly no requirement of it for Micron, but that would be one. Hey, like, a lot of stuff is going on with them coming into the community. Like, there's a lot of stuff. But, and yeah, have they given money back in STEM stuff for schools, and they got a whole bunch of crap at the Most? Shout out to the Most, one of our fine sponsors. We did some serious mosting yesterday. We were in the Most for almost as many hours as the Most has available. We were in the Most, like, for so many hours checking out so many things, and Micron's got all sorts of stuff in there right now. But yeah, like, if you're going to entrench yourself in the local community and you want to make people in the local community happy right away, you can look at, hey, what makes people in the area happy? They seem to be happier when Syracuse wins basketball games. Can we have any effect on Syracuse winning basketball games? Why? As a matter of fact, you can have an effect on Syracuse winning basketball games. Now, I've not heard this has happened, is going to happen, or will ever happen. But, you know, it's a thing. Yeah, what's Syracuse's endowment? A lot. Now, endowment, blah, 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 legal rules, whatever. You technically can't use endowment to do stuff like that, whatever. But there we are. FedEx lost packages for you twice in the last 6 weeks. But I'll tell you what they didn't lose, Squeeze. They didn't lose their NIL package that was being sent to Memphis. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, like Syracuse has $2 billion. Which, while is small in Ivy League endowment terms, is large in actual money and is not applicable to NIL. Thank you, Casey Finn. Now a 315 loyalist. Yes. Yes. Yeah, that's the thing. Remember that game? You all remember that game. Jerry's senior year. Was that the last game of the regular season? Syracuse is struggling down the stretch. They go to DePaul. DePaul wasn't any good, and Syracuse gets absolutely worked every which way. But then they bounced back and they won the tournament. It was one of the most memorable weeks in the history of Syracuse basketball. The current problem is Syracuse is having the blowouts, but they are not having the follow-up memorable moments. They're not having the follow-up memorable moments. Yeah. Yeah, hop on. Yeah, but I'm saying, like, will Micron do any of that? No. I don't think so. Are they under any obligation to do any of that? No. But I'll say this. Like, Micron's engaged in a bajillion-dollar project, right? Like, they're coming in here. This is a multi-billion-dollar project. If they wanted to, and I love spending other people's money, if they wanted to do what FedEx did and drop $5 million a year on Syracuse for NIL purposes, like, they could, and it's like change in the couch cushions to them. It's nothing. It's nothing. Matt NY says Micron will be doing something. Like, Micron came in, and they've done a lot of stuff. They've done a lot of stuff with local school districts, with STEM things. Again, the most, like, the money they've put in that I'm aware of so far is very specifically toward science, technology, getting people ready to get jobs there in a few years, which makes a lot, that makes a lot of sense. The question is, will they do other stuff? Senior night should just be night. I like it. Welcome to night. Yeah, Micron could, like, trip and fund the basketball team. Just like, a bracket challenge. We might do that, T-Tex. That's an idea. We're always welcome to ideas. Pardon me, I need to blow my nose, so we're going to turn the mic off for 1 second. Thank you. Stand by. Micron is raising property values. And what good does that do me, MJ Burke? All that is doing, since I'm not selling my house, is raising my taxes. Anywho. Yeah, they're spending a ton of money. It's just, it's just, will they decide that Syracuse being good at basketball is important to them? Somebody asked the other time, do they spend any money on, like, Boise State football? I have no idea. I still haven't. Probably not. Like, I'd say most corporations are not involved. Like, most major corporations are not involved in the NIL game. Like, they could be, but most of them aren't. So it's, I don't know. It's what it is. Yeah, William Kyle. Nate Kings, who's probably a senior, or maybe not. Who knows? Yeah, they're not spending in sports. Like, they're spending money, and that's great. And that affects lives positively and the whole thing. That's fantastic. But we want a good freaking basketball team, Micron. The hell? That's what we want. We want a good basketball team. Give us a good basketball team. They were going for the 40, but we imposed our will. Yeah, wear it, Duke. Wear it. Well, yeah, but what, like, Wegmans, like, you talk about money, Wegmans, Tops, Micron. The margins, I think, are a little higher in chip making than lettuce. Like, Wegmans, Tops, Micron. Oh, I'm getting a good stretch on it. Yeah, they're investing money in school districts and whatnot. Like, Micron's got so much money. They got so much money. So it's a question of, like, is that so, like, all of their investments right now, they're all good and worthy. Like, investing in schools, fantastic. Like, that's great. That's actually good for people in the community and everything. That's good. You can't say don't do that. That'd be stupid. But if you want to toss a little bit at the basketball players, that's just like, that's just nice. That's just nice. All their chips on the table. They'd get dirty, Johnny, and then they wouldn't work anymore. Then one of our cars. Oh, man. Can ticket sales in the Dome be used toward NIL? I think now Dirk Koenig won. I believe Syracuse has done what other schools have done, and now part of your, like, ticket packages does go to that, I think. Goes to helping fund the rev share stuff. You know, Tennessee was the first to do it. That's a lot of zeros. Like I'm not even asking them to go into, like, the first. Like, they don't even need to go into the first 5 zeros or first 5 numbers. Are we still doing a bird watching group? So I looked into that, Jordan. Now, we're all good. We love our bird watching. It doesn't seem there's a way in the app. Like, you can publicly share your stuff and be part of public bird watching groups or the group. It doesn't seem to be a way to set up a, like, private group for us to, like, just be hanging out with birds. I haven't they don't. I checked with Matt, the owner of Wild Birds, about this. I did ask. I inquired, and he was unaware of how to do that, which disappointing. But what can we do? So if you have a bird video that you want to show me, like, just, like, send it to me, and perhaps you can be featured in one of the my backyard bird videos. Like, just send it my way, and we'll make that happen. I have a spectacular Northern Cardinal. Both male and female today were there. The males are the bright red, and the females are a little paler in color. But, yeah, the Northern Cardinals were rocking it out. We had the black-capped chickadee. We'd have the whole thing. I mean, these Cardinals were going to town on those seeds, Johnny. I'm telling you. They're going to town. Yeah, Noah didn't get in the game, fella Ferda. When will he ever? Bartor, a 0.7 chance for what? The tournament or, like, anything? 0.7 chance. 0.7% chance. I'd say, MJ Berg, you get up to Lake Placid and you do train, your dreams could become true. Like, gravity's doing a lot of the work when it comes to these sliding sports. You just gotta not crash. No crashing. Like, this one came down to quite literally 4/100ths of a second in the monobob. Yeah. Yeah, watch when the birds themselves start destroying us. Yeah, Lax beat Maryland. We like that. Lacrosse. Number 1. We like that. We like that. I have not seen that movie, Tronic. That is extremely obscure. I don't even know about that movie. I did notice that, JM, where the Duke dude was skidding across the floor and Cayenne was in attendance in the general vicinity. That was extremely noticeable. Yes. Extremely noticeable, I dare say. Extremely noticeable. Still no red post-game presser posted. Let's take a quick look at the poll here. It looks like William Kyle's going to win the poll. Sadness and despair, unless we give it to sadness and despair. We could do that. So I could combine sadness and despair as the Wild Birds Unlimited player of the game over William Kyle. We're going to debate that for a few minutes as we get the bird cam loaded up and whatnot. Yeah, the second half was just terrible. Like, once they went on that run at the end of the first half, Dale, it was just nothing. Like, what even was that? What was the second half? Like, what were they doing? Yeah, Cayenne's, you know what's worse than that, though, Cardiac Cues? Donnie just stands at the three-point line. Jack Black, Steve Martin, and Owen Wilson in a bird-watching movie? And I've never heard of this? How could that be, Tronic? Mysterious. Yeah, they are kind of the same. Yeah, Super Cat, he was engaged in SMU. Like, you could tell he was kind of into it and doing stuff. And, yeah, I'm like, okay, yeah, there we go, Cayenne. There we go. And I'll say this, like, Cayenne in his post-game interviews and whatnot essentially said the same thing. I'd say he's been rather forthright about all of it this season. So we like that, but I don't know. All right, let's get to our Should we get to our Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game? Feeling of the game, whatever we're going to call it, today of the game. Our Wild Birds Unlimited staring into the depths and darkness of night. Big Air player of the game. There we are. It's dark yet said. Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game. Let's check the results of the poll. Again, to recap. After Syracuse's largest ACC loss ever by 37 points on the road in Durham tonight to Duke, 107-64, the options for a Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game were William Kyle, with 12 points, 3 rebounds, and a few block shots, were sadness, were despair, and were other. So William Kyle got 41% of the vote. Other, which could be anything, got 14% of the vote. Despair got 29% of the vote. And sadness got 17% of the vote. So technically, William Kyle has won the vote in a plurality. But we have been talking and debating that sadness and despair, they've split a very similar vote here. Sadness and despair have split a very similar vote here. And if you add the voting percentages of sadness and despair together, you get 46% of the vote. I think, in my understanding of the way some other countries do their elections, and I'm not quite up on all the European countries' political structures, but you can form a coalition government if you don't reach the necessary percentage in the original voting. So, after all the polling has been completed here, newly reigning as our Wild Birds Unlimited player of the game tonight, the winning pair of sadness and despair. Sadness and despair is our Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game. Shout out to you, Sadness and Despair. Apologies to you, William Kyle. I'll say this about William Kyle. We're talking a lot about effort. We're talking a lot about trying. We're talking a lot about all that stuff. With William Kyle and with Nate King specifically, you do not need to question that. in either of those two. William Kyle played his butt off tonight. Now, he played his butt off against one of the best players in the country. He had his moments, and one of the best players in the country, and Cam Boozer proved to be a better player. But William Kyle tried his butt off. Nate King's tried his butt off, but trying is only part of the battle, is it not? And then when you're not getting clearly that from everybody else on the squad, it becomes a lot more difficult. Sadness and despair sounds like a derby name. Would that be too long? Matt, oh, pardon me. Now I've got that on the screen. I'm not going to Google on the screen for you. Maximum amount of characters in horse names, because this is actually a thing. 18 characters. SADNESSANDDESPAIR. Oh, 17. No spaces. All one word. Sadness and despair could be a horse in the Derby. Yes. Yes. There we go. I should just have somebody in the backyard trying to scare all of you. I'm hoping one time to catch a bird live out there. We still haven't gotten a live bird in the backyard, but, what can you do? We look out there in the day. We look out there in the night. There was plenty of birds today, just not while we were live on the air. Like the Cardinals were. It was a feeding frenzy. It was a feeding frenzy. I should put an auto or something out there, but am I gonna trek out there? Who remembers that in time? And then I don't want to have it out there all the time because it could dissuade the actual birds. And then what are we gonna do with all that? And then am I gonna trek out there? Now there's a pile of snow. Maybe when the snow melts, we can get something out there for the sake of the shows. But I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, we could get the kids out there. I suppose if it was not almost 10 o'clock at night. Yeah, and if Jordan pops up in my backyard, that would be a little bit frightening. A little bit frightening. So yeah, it's Jordan. Still no red post-game presser posted for us to watch together. I've read you the quotes, which may just be enough. Matt and Y just DM me a Wild Birds Player of the Game trophy, and he says it's almost perfect. I'll be the judge of that. What'd you send me? Oh, hang on. Let's see. Can I wait? No. Hang on. Hang on. Here we go. Sadness and despair. Our Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air Player of the Game. Sadness and despair. Have I ever caught Jordan on the bird cam? I have not. I have not ever caught Jordan on the bird cam. It's not to say he hasn't been there. Just go to bed? Never. We're handing out kooky trophies. Look, sadness and despair. Sadness and despair. Our Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air Player of the Game. There's the bottom of the trophy. Now you can see that. Look, I can move it around. There's the bottom of the trophy. It's a nice trophy. It's got a basketball and everything. Sadness and despair. Our Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air Players of the Game. I usually put I think I know what I'm going to do here. Because I put the whole thing of just the part of the Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air Player of the Game as a clip on YouTube. It's nice to put a thumbnail up, and I usually put a picture of the player in the thumbnail area to so you can see who they are. I think tonight that our Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air Player of the Game going to Sadness and Despair will feature sadness. I don't think there's any despair at Inside Out. I don't think despair is one of the emotions. But there's sadness. Shout out to you, sadness. May you cheer up, but probably not tonight. Sadness and despair. Our Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air Player of the Game. Okay. Okay, still a chance for a last look call if you'd like to get in tonight. Level 5% chance he's fired tonight. Yeah, it's a level 0% chance he's getting fired tonight, despite it being the biggest ACC loss ever for Syracuse, and despite the player of the game being sadness and despair. But, what can you do? What can you do? One last look here to see if the red post-game presser has arrived to the internet, and it has not. Did I just disable the chat? What did I just do? I just disabled the chat. I really hope I didn't actually disable the chat. I hit a weird button. What did I do? Disable the chat. How do I undisable the chat? Oh my! Refresh. Uh-oh. Well, chat, if I screwed up the chat somehow, sorry. I hit some button that did something. I didn't mean to. That's probably a sign to end the show tonight if I accidentally disabled the chat. If I did, apologies. The button popped up. Chat is disabled for this live stream, and now I am filled with sadness and despair because I may have ruined your ability to chat for the rest of the night. So I think that's our sign to draw this to a conclusion. Sad, yeah. Oh dear, chat is disabled. Without that, we're adrift at sea. So with that upcoming schedule here, we've got TPS report coming Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. Myself and Jordan, who may or may not be, you're still here? That's great. Who may or may not be appearing at the Bird Camera. And then on Thursday, we'll be live in the 315 at 11 a.m. And then on Saturday, we will be live after Syracuse plays North Carolina in basketball again. Oh, no. There's another forecast of sadness and despair. Orange Lax is playing Harvard at the same time, so we may discuss both during that post-game show. There's the Autry presser. Like, for real? Matt and why? Did it just appear? I don't see it. With that, have a good night, one and all. Sadness and despair. We'll talk again on Wednesday evening.
Thanks for watching the 315 with Brian Higgins. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn your notifications on. We'll see you next time.